I have accomplished what nobody has accomplished. I have brought an end to Iran's nuclear weapons potential. Um, Whether the American people will believe this sufficiently to reward him in November is yet to be seen. But there is a diplomatic off ramp. The United States just has to have the courage to take it, the courage and the wisdom.
Yeah, that's yeah, the courage and the wisdom, though. But it's not going to come from Trump, I'm feeling. Do you see anything though within the U.S.? I saw, Taylor Marjorie Greene making the point that yeah, Trump should essentially seize power now. But is there any significant political forces that are actually pushing back against this? Because I mean, I'm seeing across Europe that none of America's allies appear to be raising its voices. But of course, there's concerns in Europe, East Asia, even the Middle East, from allies about how reliable or any security guarantees would be, or the possible threats of making oneself too dependent. But is there any pushback coming, or if not from allies, from adversaries? What are you seeing?
There's no pushback right now except from Iran. There's no internal pushback of any significance. Yes, there's some outliers. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ro Khanna, are calling for invocation of the 25th Amendment to remove this man from office. But there's no serious political movement to follow through on that. Um, Europe just doesn't matter anymore. Literally doesn't matter. No one cares what Europe says. The hypocrisy of Europe to call Donald Trump out for his criminal statements while they condone the attack against Russian energy infrastructure is just mind-boggling. But again, Europe's just made itself totally irrelevant. Europe has nothing they can bring to the table, nothing they can offer. Their economy is about to be hit by a tidal wave of energy shortages, and the only solution is the solution that they won't accept, which is returning to Russian energy. And at this juncture, Russia may not. Russia's right now, I don't know if they have the capacity to support Europe, or Russia is busy signing contracts for everybody else in the world, meeting their energy needs now that 22% of the world's energy supplies have been taken off the market. So Europe is irrelevant. Asia, the United States is committing, irreparable harm here. South Korea, Japan are talking about fuel rationing. They are totally dependent upon the Middle East for for the bulk of their energy supplies. Um, and there's going to be resentment about the United States, which is not only failed to protect them, but is responsible for the harm that is that is striking them at this juncture. You know, this is a disaster for the United States, an absolute disaster. Maybe it's a blessing